Hey, Dan Sytsma here from Crawlspace Comedy Theater, and doing a video for the Arts Council talking about improv comedy and how we do it, what it's all about, and part of our process. So, what is improv? Well, improv is theater, usually comedy, that is created on the spot, no script. Doesn't mean there's no preparation. There's a lot of preparation. It's probably more similar to sporting events in that way, that we practice, we rehearse the skills and everything that goes into it while we're not rehearsing exactly what's going to happen on stage. It's still that skill building, the trust building, the concepts of improv. They go very deep. They get into human psychology and what happens to your brain when you don't know what's going to happen next. And it's a bit of a rewiring almost, because a lot of times if you don't know what's going to happen, fear creeps in. If you see somebody doing something amazing, jealousy creeps in. If you see somebody doing something that's incredible and you have that thought of, wow, I wish I could do that, all those negative emotions get in the way of doing improv. So you have to figure out skills and tools to get away from that, to kind of get around that and just get excited. If somebody does something amazing, that's exciting. That's a gift to you. And that's what you want to play with and have fun with and get rid of any negative emotions of self-doubt or jealousy or fear. So that's a big part of improv. And that's part of what I love. Why improv? When you don't know what's going to happen and you're discovering it along with the audience, it's extremely exciting. It's really, really fun. You start to make these discoveries with the people that you do improv with, and all of a sudden you're making a connection with a fellow improviser that you've never thought of, never conceived of before, and it just comes out in this moment with the audience watching. There's just a exhilaration to it. There's an excitement that I just love. So some people ask how we develop how to develop a show or how to develop a game or a scene or a long form that we're doing. And there's no single way to do it. We have a mindset of yes and. You've probably heard that, of accepting what somebody says and then building on it. So this works on the improv stage, but it absolutely works off the improv stage as well. And that's often how we develop things. Somebody has an idea and then we build on it. It's really about taking it and starting a conversation. And I think that is a very applicable skill in real life, of take something, maybe you don't like it initially, but see how you can get in a conversation about it and build on it. And that's how we develop a lot of the games that we do. Some of the games we get from other performance teams, from research online or in books. But some of them we develop on our own, and it's trying it, seeing where it goes, tweaking things here and there. There's no one way. We have a process that we call Put It on the Board, where we just brainstorm ideas, and anything that anybody says, we write down. Any ideas that they have, we jot down. And then we look back at what we've jotted down and say, what's exciting? And let's do that. Let's try it. Let's workshop it a little bit. So some of it's sitting, planning. Some of it, most of it, is doing it, just getting up and doing it. So a little bit about how we set the stage for improv, how we kind of introduce it to an audience and how we get into it. I love audience engagement. I love audience interaction. And so that's one thing that I like about short form improv, which short form improv is like the Whose Line Is It Anyway style improv games, because it gets you connected to the audience a little bit more, breaks the fourth wall. It's not you as a character, it's you as yourself introducing a game or just having a dialogue with the audience and getting their input about how to set up a game, getting their suggestions. Maybe it's a location, maybe it's a relationship. Sometimes we get get into weirder things like emotions, like what is this person feeling at the beginning of this scene, or they're wearing something that you wouldn't or normally wear. So trying to mix it up a little bit and get the audience throw them off a little bit, because sometimes they come prepared with things, and some of that's great. Some of those are great suggestions. Other times it's really fun just to throw the audience off a little bit, get them pulling from a different part of their brain. Not that prepped area, just a little bit more of that spontaneous place. That's really fun. And then setting the game or scene based on that is always a good time. And lastly, how does this help people in their ordinary lives? I think improv can affect any part of your life. It can be extremely effective at improving relationships. It can be something that improves relationships on many different levels, whether it's with your boss, a coworker, your spouse, significant other, your children. It's something that really transcends beyond any specific situation. It can apply to any situation, really. Is having that mentality of, I'm going to positively receive information and then try to positively build on it. And that is very, very difficult. Especially now in COVID era. In the COVID era, it's very difficult because there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of division, there's a lot of things that you just don't like going on. And taking those things and trying to find a positive and build on that is a skill that is very worthwhile and can get you in situations that are much better than if you purely perceive them as negatives. So improv is pretty much my life, and it's hard to not perform it on a stage in front of an audience or teach it to people in person. But it's something that I continue to live, even when it's not something I'm doing on stage as an art form. It's become pretty much a lifestyle, and I think my life is better because of it. So thanks for listening, and yeah, yay to the Arts Council. We love the Arts Council.